deck. 11-3, 12-2, and 2 are the respective records here for these two players. Spicklemire, a bit of a youngster over there.
Yes. What I do like about Spicklemire's deck here, I like the idea of backing up Crackling Doom with Jeskai Charm, because then you have more selection over what you're doing with your Crackling Doom, because you can put offending creatures on top of the deck, get what you're really going for, and that gives the deck a lot of reach. That's a lot of direct damage you can deal as well, because Crackling Doom deals 2, and Jeskai Charm always has the option of dealing 4.
Looks like Sulaiman has taken at least one mulligan, potentially 2, as he is missing land drops here. And Spicklemire, well, he is not. There's an island, but no Mantis Rider to play. It does have a copy of Jeskai Charm. Sansep Citadel, the draw here for Sulaiman, so at least he'll have a second land to play. There is that second land. Spicklemire has picked up a copy of Polluted Delta. And nothing really going on here for either player, though Spicklemire does have copies of Ochitai's Command in hand.
Yeah, you can sit here and wait for a little while. Sulaiman's eventually going to play a creature, you'd assume.
Yep. Does have a copy of Dead Protector in hand, for example. Well, he's going to wait on that. Spicklemire will sacrifice Polluted Delta, fall down to 19.
And that's one of those spots where, you know, if Sulaiman was on the fence about casting the Den Protector just to get something going, the threat of Ochitai's Command will cause him to pump the brakes. And with Spicklemire not really up to anything, there's a decent chance, although it doesn't appear to be the case, that Spicklemire will cycle the Ochitai's Command, draw a card, gain some life, try to find something to do of his own, and then your Den Protector can resolve next turn.
Dragonlord Ochitai the draw.
Really good against an opponent with no lands.
Yeah. As we said earlier, you're firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, that's...
And there is Dragonlord Ochitai. Abzan Charm.
Listen, you don't go to the Pro Tour by accident. You guys, you guys see a lot of different things.
You do. There's the Dragonlord that's looking to take over the game.
Yup.
Yep. Not a lot of ways to get this off the battlefield. Going to discard Hangerback Walker.
I wonder if that gives Spicklemire a little bit of pause here. Sulaiman choosing to discard a castable spell.
Yeah. The answer is no.
Does not seem perturbed.
Got some interest in that Valor stance.
Yep, I do too.
It's like going to go with Soulfire Grandmaster.
Also fine.
There's Flooded Strand. Looks like the follow-up is going to be Soulfire Grandmaster with Ochitai's Command at the ready. Languish the draw here for Sulaiman. And he's seen just about enough. So Clay Spicklemire is going to win game number 1 here over Raja Sulaiman. Jeskai Black up a game here over Robzon Red. Didn't get to see very much, did Clay of Raja's deck. So taking a look at the sideboard is going to be kind of interesting because Raja's going to be pretty informed on how to sideboard, I think, where Clay will not.
2 copies of Ration Claire, 2 copies of Jamoka's Command, 2 copies of Ultimate Price, 2 copies of Duress, Painful Truths, 2 copies of Radiant Flames, 2 copies of Outpost Siege, and an Ob Nixilis Reignited. I would probably settle in for a longer game here. I like the idea of bringing in Outpost Siege alongside Ob Nixilis, and I could see the Duress is coming in. I don't even mind Jamoka's Command against a deck that's probably packing a lot of burn for removal.
Other side of things, 3 copies of Radiant Flame, 4 Disdainful Strokes, 2 Feldar Cub. Haven't seen that one this weekend. A couple copies.
You know what that's good against?
Oh, do tell.
Enchantments.
You're right, it is. It is.
More expert analysis.
Indeed, indeed. 2 copies of Outpost Siege. And then Hostilius Rasha Cleric. Looks like a Salumgar's Command as well. So a bit of a splashy sideboard here.
Don't exactly know what's going on, but Sansep Citadels plus Bloodstained Mire implies a slower deck. That's all that Clay really got to see there. I like bringing in the Slumgar Scorn. I like bringing in the Hostilities, the Outpost Sieges, and the Disdainful Strokes. Just settle in for a longer game. Same thing that Sulaiman's likely to do.
Well, players have found their sideboards. Going to shuffle up here. Sulaiman's looking to draw some lands, obviously. And if he's able to do that and win this match, he'll be in top 8. So we'll see how the next game does play out. But for now, we take a look at the Season 4 schedule here of the Open Series, where we're in Indianapolis right now. Going to crown a champion here in a couple hours. And the next week in Atlanta, we'll do the same.
Yeah, after that, we're a week off of the Pro Tour, then a Legacy Open post-ban in St. Louis. We go to Dallas for Modern, Standard in Philadelphia. And then a sealed Grand Prix in Atlanta, Georgia. StarCityGames.com/GP Atlanta for more information about that event. Standard in Kansas City, a Legacy Open in New Jersey. Standard back in Denver, which we haven't been to in a couple of years. And then the Season 4 Invitational, Las Vegas, Nevada. Standard and Modern as the Invitational formats with a 2-day $20,000 Standard Open Series event, December 11th through the 13th. And then to close out the year, Players Championship, Roanoke, Virginia, Star City Games headquarters, December 19th and 20th.
Anyone who does join our main events up until December 5th in that show in Denver will get the Hop and Rabbit Master playmat, the Bunny Beatdowns, a play off of Goblin Rabble Master. And Denver fitting the last chance you can get that since our first time back there in a handful of years.
Quite a while.
Looking forward to all of the shows here, and even, you know, places where you can't get it, like Grand Prix Atlanta.
I believe that Michael Majors referred to this as the Hop and Rabble Master mat. What was it? Hop and Rabble Master mat?
I think it's what you just said.
The Hop and Rabble Master mat.
Yep.
Anyhow, it's available through December 5th, free with entry. Any of our 2-day $20,000 Open Series event through the Open in Denver.
What I know is those aren't words.
Hop and Rabble Master mat.
Yeah, what you're saying are not words.
Hop and Rabble Master mat.
We're gonna get you on the marketing of the products and naming them soon. We're gonna bring you in house. You can move on to that.
Well, that's Michael Majors. I'm not trying to crib that. That's
Okay,
him.
well, I'll bring him in then. Someone will bring
Hop
him
and Rabble
in.
Master
Yeah,
mat.
I'm gonna beg you to stop, please. Begging you.
It would be, you know, like one of those infomercials where they just repeat it like 7 or 8 times. Hop and Rabble Master mat.
Just drive it home, get it stuck in your brain,
Yeah.
leave you without any choice whatsoever.
1-800 Hop and Rabble Master mat.
Nice.
Call now for a free consultation.
In case you guys are wondering at home, I go through this every weekend.
This is his entire life.
This is
It's
it.
just dealing with me like this.
Every weekend I deal with this. I don't know how either, but I do. It's become a skill at this point.
Right. You would have to cope.
In between your maniacal laughter with gut shot and this, these are what my weekends look like 40 times a year.
Yeah.
A prairie stream here for Clay. Sansep Citadel from Raja. There's a swamp. Already doing better than game 1.
Yeah, look at him go.
An island for Clay, and Clay has cast a powerful card. See, the young man knows what cards are good already.
Yep, he's good.
Playing a Jace.
Put that creature in front of your lands or you are grounded.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah, Judge is on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, like it.
Yep.
I don't even have to be the disciplinarian.
No,
That's great.
no allowance this week.
Yeah.
Here's a hangerback walker for 1. We give him a compliment. Still a lot to learn.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's all right.
He piled shuffle too. I didn't even want to. He's young, you know? You learn as you go. It's okay.
A Jace activation here for Spicklemire.
Looks like he's brought in the cub.
Interesting.
I'm not sure what the enchantments you would necessarily be expecting out of this deck, unless you were really confident he had Outpost Siege. Maybe he sat next to him during a round or some such.
Okay. So I'm going to sacrifice a Bloodstained Mire. Yeah, at the worst, it's a good card to discard a Jace. Boom. Yep. If you're wrong, just discard that thing. Let's see what's next here for Raja. Two basics out there, so battle lands are on. Spicklemire just discarding Disdainful Strokes is a little interesting too, playing against an Abzan deck like this. He does have 1 in hand still, so he's got a backup copy for a Siege Rhino. But that card is quite good in matchups like this. Though, again, he didn't see very much game 1.
And the second discarding the first one usually implies you have the second one. Your opponent's going into their fourth turn. It's a nice insurance policy, so it'll be interesting to see what Sulaiman wants to do here.
He's going to start by sacrificing a Wooded Foothills, fall down to 18, and get a Canopy Vista. Well, the Siege Rhino, that's likely to get countered. That's going to get hit with a Disdainful Stroke.
And Sulaiman can't be too surprised by that.
I don't think so. Jeskai Charm the draw. Jace activation. Mantis Rider has been found.
But this is the awkwardness with the fetch land, battle land setup is when you're playing the wedge colors, your primary fetch land cannot find your third color.
So Mantis Rider can't even be cast right now.
Correct.
So instead, just Soulfire Grandmaster and pass the turn back. Kolaghan's Command, I believe, the draw.
It's a juicy draw.
Yeah.
You can get rid of either Spicklemire's threats and get back the Siege Rhino.
Hangerback Walker's moving up. This might be Radiant Flames. Jeez.
This is not a bad turn either.
Yeah. Gonna kill some things. Hangerback Walker 2, though 2 Thopters will still be coming here for Sulaiman. Shambling vents the land, and now we head back Spicklemire's way. Can he find red mana? I think he just drew a Tassiger?
I believe he just drew a black card.
Yeah.
So, nope. Well, that actually...
That's actually not bad.
Yeah, the Flooded Strand can find the Sunken Hollow.
There's the Cub. I'm surprised not to see him deploy Tassiger this turn.
Well, he can't get a black source of mana that's untapped. He's
Oh,
only got,
sure,
he's
sure,
only
sure.
got one
Yep,
basic.
yep. I'm used to the Battlelands just hitting the battlefield and tapped it right away.
Yep.
Pardon me. There's a Morph.
Good against enchantments.
Yeah. It's a cat and a beast.
A cat beast.
Yeah.
2 different tribal decks it supports.
Can battle something with Contested Cliffs.
Yep.
Sack it to Ravenous Bayloss ability.
Are there any cards that reference cats?
Probably.
Is there a Miri Cat Warrior, Tribal Cat Lord, something?
Like, I think it's called Kemba. I think that thing's a cat.
It's got to be something.
Yeah. Another Mantis Rider to draw here for Clay. Mana not cooperating at all this game. The Cub coming in. Meow. Here comes Tassiger. Gonna delve away most of the graveyard here.
This is a card we have seen almost 0 of
It's a little surprising,
this
right?
weekend, which is really surprising to me. You have all these mana bases that are playing a ton of fetch lands, and you know you don't want to be playing a bunch of double mana spells. So if you can find powerful single mana spells to play, it's very good with these mana bases. And delving is much easier when you're playing with a bunch of fetch lands. So the absence of Tassiger thus far has been really surprising to me. I mean, even just one? Can't put one in some of your decks?
I'm surprised. I mean, we've seen a lot of Murderous Cuts and other things. I'm surprised that this is the first of it we're seeing. Den Protector's going to bring back Hangerback Walker. Sansep Citadel the draw. It's Crackling Doom. There goes Tassiger. That's one of those spots where Crackling Doom looks busted.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
5 damage coming across. And now Hangerback Walker. It feels like all insane turns here for Sulaiman.
Besides the turn where his Siege Rhino got tagged with Disdainful Stroke, every turn of the game has been good for Sulaiman.
There's a Flooded Strand. That's not red mana. We can just pass. Spicklemire's mana did not come together this game at all. And really, if you think about it, for all the matches that we've watched here with these 4-color decks like Jeskai Black and Abzan Red, not once have we really seen this happen.
Yeah, and it's not like Spicklemire's not making the effort. He's got Bloodstainmire and Polluted Delta. Those are both lands that can find red sources of mana. He's just happened to draw blue-white duels and Flooded Strands, and that's a spot where he can't get his mana going.
Beatdowns. 5 more. Sulaiman not going to do anything else. Just going to pass the turn back. Spicklemire will draw. Another Mana Strider.
Another red card.
Yeah.
Great. All right.
Well, we're done here. That mana not come together at all there for the young man.
So we've traded 2 of those. Let's see if number 3, both players get to punch at each other a little bit.
Yeah, we're looking for a real game 3 here. Neither of these games has been particularly pretty.
I mean, game 2 there was shaping up for Spicklemire to have a nice draw, just did not find red mana.
Well, these players are going to shuffle up and get ready here for game 3. You know what, my advice? Let's give a good shuffle.
Give it a wash.
Give it a good shuffle. See if they can draw their mana. Go back to the drawing board.
Just didn't randomize. If you just piled, you know.
Yep, that's the problem.
You would have been randomized better.
Jeskai Black, Obzon Red, 2 of the many decks that you players at home can play at in the state championships that's happening with Star City Games 2 weeks from now. You can find out more information about that fantastic tournament right now.
The forest is my birthright. A second son inherits only scraps. What I protect, my brother would destroy. I earned my strength. My brother earned nothing. By my father's name, by the mother's scorned. I will destroy you.
Get these paired playmats only at the StarCityGames.com Autumn 2015 State Championships. Standard on October 17th and Modern on October 18th. Visit StarCityGames.com/states to learn more.
We got some standard action on October 17th, a little modern action on October 18th. A lot of standard brews here, and for modern, well, I know what you would play.
Zoo!
You tricked me into playing in the Modern Super League, so I know what you would play.
You were around me for several weekends in a row. You saw the results. You saw the mutagenic growth and gut shot moments, and you couldn't say no.
I saw last night League Champion. League Master.
Shh. League Master. Yep. Ripped off a 5-0 in my league yesterday.
Well done.
On the heels of a 4-1.
Very well done, League Champion.
Money poor, but play point rich. I can play in events for a long time.
And we're all very happy. It's important for your sanity.
Yeah, it is important.
I understand that.
Almost losing to 8-rack dude would have been, that would have been a tough one.
Oh, no photos on Twitter for that? No. Gonna hide those from the public.
We are both empty-handed, except my opponent has both the rack and ensnaring bridge in play.
Anybody's game.
Anyone's game.
One smallpox later, your tournament's over.
No, I did not. That one was too close for comfort.
Magic's, I'd say, most dynamic formats right now, Modern and Standard. Standard with all these new changes, and Modern is just sweet.
Yep. It's a fun format to cover, and it'll be interesting to see if these lands and the new mana bases impact Modern at all. It is a way for some of these decks to save some damage, depending on exactly what they're up to.
A deck like Scape Shift might be interested. Will these players keep? They will. Hey, look at that.
Mountain. Good start.
Disdainful stroke the draw here for Clay. It's got a Flooded Strand and a Jace. This is actually a great start. There's a Wooded Foothills and a Hangerback Walker. So both players onto the board early here.
Mana fixed for the most part. This is shaping up to be both players giving it a good shot.
I wouldn't have it any other way here for game 3 with top 8 on the line. Players will shuffle, present, and then we're going to head back Spicklemire's way and get to work with that Jace. Hello, Mantis Rider. Start by activating Jace. Looks like Ochai's command was the draw.
Now the question is, white mana. Oh, he's got a Prairie Stream.
Yeah, Prairie Stream and I think Delta in hand.
Boom.
I think the actual difficult thing is what to discard. His hand might be so good. Discarding Disdainful Stroke. If I see my opponent discard Disdainful Stroke, I'm not feeling good. There's an attack for 3.
And with Spicklemire, I believe with Ojutai's command in hand, that's going to do a good job of covering whatever Disdainful Stroke covers anyway.
Hangerack Walker moving up.
And well, this is a place where Spicklemire has to be careful because of Radiant Flames.
Yep.
He is vulnerable to that card right now. I don't know how much counterspell he has for that particular effect in his list. Maybe it's still worth it just to rip off the second Mana Strider and go for it, but he is very vulnerable to Radiant Flames if he takes that line.
Smoldering Marsh, the draw. He's going to discard that. Has Dragonlord Ojutai in hand, too. Young man's got a real good hand. Just depending on how he wants to play it. Gonna sacrifice Polluted Delta. Gonna cruise. That's a good way to spend a turn.
Yeah, this is a nice way to do it. I mean, it's a way for him to use all of his mana, and
don't know if he announces an attack or not. We'll see. May have shortcutted a little bit.
yeah, it depends exactly what language he used.
Yep.
That could have all been done on main phase 1, but if he said use the wrong words, then we're past it.
Yep. We'll get confirmation. Yep. Looks like he did not make the attack. There's Radiant Flames. Some Thopters will be left over. Crackling Doom the draw now here for Clay. Battlefield Forge, and it might be time for Dragonlord Ojutai. Or perhaps Mantis Rider. Yep. There's the Cub. I don't think he's going to forget to attack this time. Getting in there. Sulaiman falls down to 13. What if Foothill's going to bring Sulaiman down to 12? That'll be a mountain. We'll see what comes next. Crack can do all that stuff online. That stuff's pretty easy.
Looks like Ob Nixilis in Sulaiman's hand.
Okay.
It's not a bad spot to go for it.
Carpenter and Chadley Sikowski. If you're in the room, please make your way to the main event stage. Bradley Carpenter and Chadley Sikowski.
It's going to be a Siege Rhino turn. What's the follow-up? Maybe Murder's Cut? That's a pretty good turn.
Yeah, this turn is a lot better than Ob Nixilis, and you can tell Sulaiman's trying to set up a much more stable board to deploy Ob Nixilis than having a couple of 1/1s against a 2/2.
Yeah.
With Ob Nixilis' 2 loyalty, assuming it shot down Mantis Rider.
Ojutai's command was the draw. Just gonna pass the turn back.
And Sulaiman's copies of Radiant Flames have been really good in this matchup.
They really have been.
I was not anticipating it being as good as it's been, and Spicklemire has not been able to handle that card thus far.
Magic players, this is your last call to sign up for the Modern Challenge at 3 o'clock. If you'd like to play in that event, please come up to Sidelist and register now.
There is Ob Nixilis on a very stable board, and Ojutai's command does not get to counter that one. And keep in mind, by the way, Spicklemaire's at 6.
Yep. He's kind of losing on every front right now.
Yeah. Ob Nixilis starts on 5. It's going up.
And I like this better than trying to kill the Cub.
Yeah, it doesn't do too much.
Well,
Cub's
so
not-
Crackling Doom is a disaster if he kills the Cub, because he loses Ob Nixilis and Siege Rhino.
Yeah, sure. There's Ochiai's command. Getting back Jace, probably gain some life, maybe drawing a card. You're going to draw a card. And Jace has got to provide some help. It's a pretty powerful card. We'll see just how good. There's an activation. Spicklemire, the draw. Interesting card that we saw there. Dragon Master Outcast. A reprint.
Okay.
It's good to get back with Ochiai's command.
That is very true.
Well, Spicklemire does still need to discard.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah. That one kind of overlooked as a reprint.
Yeah, I think it's perceived more as a commander card. It's not like it had a lot of success showing up in high-level tournaments.
Yeah, during its time, you could search for it with Ranger Vios, but it never really came to fruition very often.
But that is really cute with Ochiai's command. That could be a thing.
Jeskai Charm going to go down. Jace is flipping. Jace, is it flipping? How many cards are in the graveyard?
That was number 5.
Was number 5? Okay. Looked like there were only 4 cards. And there goes Bloodstained-Mire. Gotta get a Sunken Hollow.
So with this line of play, I think what Clay can do is Crackling Doom, flashback Crackling Doom, and attack Ob Nixilis. That'll kill Siege Rhino, a Thopter, and the Planeswalker.
And Ob Nixilis. Looks like he's gonna slow down a Thopter.
Okay.
There's Mantis Rider. They're gonna both go after Ob. And now there's Crackling Doom.
This route is even better.
Yep.
Well, that was a really big turn there for Spicklemire. Got it swung around. I mean, on the table, he is way ahead. Life tool is low, and Sulaiman's got some stuff off his hand, including Abzan Charm. And Spicklemire has a lot in the graveyard to work with, too.
Yep.
Alongside that Jace.
Now Sullivan's got to try drawing some cards with Abzan Charm. He needs to re-gas up. Got Crackling Doom in hand, which is pretty good, but Spicklemire is able to gain some life here with a card like Ochiai's Command. We got a different game here.
And that's another card that is you could possibly flash back next turn.
There's Crackling Doom. They're going to knock Jace down to 4. Knock it down to 3. Got a long way to go on that thing, though. Shambling Vent past turn back. So maybe Spicklemire's making a comeback. Looks like Jace may have been the draw. Here comes Dragon Master Outcast. Got 6 lands. Hey, you better kill that thing. And that's a copy of Dragonlord Ochiai in hand, but I'm not sure there's much of a reason to cast it right now.
Well, the reason to cast it is there's nothing else really going on. He can simply cast that plus Jace, send the turn back.
There might be some interest in just holding up Ochiai's Command, though.
The problem is the big vulnerability right now, I think, might be Dispels. I mean, Siege Rhino doesn't kill him. It's definitely bad news.
I don't know what we're cashing in for. We're cruising again.
Okay. Now, if he's not made a land drop this turn, what this means is he can find something good to do, and if he fails to do that, he hopefully draws a land that comes into play untapped, and Dragon Lord Ojutai is the insurance policy.
Gonna pass the turn back with Ojutai's command at the ready.
I would like this line to play better if Sulaiman didn't have all the shambling vents down.
Yeah, me too.
That was part of the reason I wanted to get Dragon Lord Ojutai out there, because right now Sulaiman can do a lot of work just by firing up the creature lands and attacking.
Yep.
Though a lot can go wrong if Sulaiman spends his turn that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty scary to do that, right? Because you've seen cards like Jeskai Charm.
Or he goes Ojutai's command, gain some life, untap, trigger the
outcast.
The outcast, and now it's getting hard to catch back up.
Someone's got quite a few lands in hand.
Once again, Magic players, I have a couple of quick announcements.
This game has taken a really odd complexion.
Yeah, yeah. Been pretty swingy back and forth.
Yeah.
Someone to go home without it, that never goes well. So if you or your friend is missing a wedding ring, you come up with claim yours, or have him come up with claim his or hers. Because I really
Might be time to fire up a vent.
Also, somebody here drove a Honda. I had
Time to fire them both.
Check and make sure you have
Everybody.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
In this spot, I think you're fine to take the 4, go down to 1, and then gain the 4 life back and return the Cub. Like, the Cub's not doing very much, but it's kind of free to get it back, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You might need another chump block.
Yeah, he also may want to draw a card. Draw a card, gain 4 is not bad. I mean, any of those modes is okay.
I feel like, to me, he's got enough cards as it is because he's resolved a couple copies of Treasure Cruise. He's just got to stay alive.
I agree. I like the instinct of gaining life and getting he still gets a card out of the whole thing, and the life seems very important to me.
We got a dragon.
All right.
There's an island. I like going Ojutai now.
Oh, you know, worst comes to worst, you have a 5/5 as insurance.
Yeah. Just got to make sure you tap all that mana right. There's Dragon Lord Ojutai.
I was not expecting of a comeback in Game 3, potentially for top 8, for the Outcast to be the one driving it.
No, me either. Me either. But here we are. Clay Spicklemire trying to make one hell of a comeback right now. And Raja Sulaiman is trying to stop him from being able to do that. But let's keep in mind one thing here. 2 dragons out there do not take very long to close a game out.
No. Oh, by the way, that Dragon Master Outcast, 1 in the sideboard.
Yep.
Just got 1.
Just kind of hanging out.
Just, yeah, if it shows up, that's cool, you know. Not banking on it, but games like this. Especially with him, you know, he is nuking his graveyard a lot to Treasure Cruise. And I don't know, with Ojutai's command, I'm not sure. It's a little bit fancy, it's a little bit cute, but that's, you know, that's a powerful thing to have access to.
Well, it's something that just demands an answer right away.
Right.
You know, the turn you play, if you have 6 or more lands, okay, I have to kill that right now, or, I mean, 1 dragon's already pretty hard to beat. If they get a 2nd dragon off of that card, it might not be possible to beat. Are we going to the vents again? I don't think that's a great place to go this time.
Yeah, the vents are not getting you very far now.
Kolaghan's command. We'll get confirmation on what the modes are here.
It might just be Shock You Siege Rhino. He might be going for broke here.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Now here's Siege Rhino. Disdainful Stroke's going to take care of that.
I like Sulaiman going for the kill there. I mean, this is not getting better.
Spicklemire very anxious to untap. I would be too.
Though not a lot of good leftovers in his hand. It's 2 copies of Jace.
And a Flooded Strand.
Still vulnerable to a top deck Siege Rhino.
Yep.
That has not changed.
And the follow-up is a Hangerback Walker, and that's not terribly exciting. All right, time to untap. Oh, he missed the outcast trigger. Oh, he missed it. I was hoping he wouldn't. And hostility's the draw. Oh, boy.
Well, I don't think that's something he's too interested in anyway.
Pretty blank, yeah.
I like Spicklemeyer's side of this a lot better than Sulaiman's.
Two shambling vents down there. You kind of want to attack with Dragonlord Ojutai.
Well, the problem is the longer that he waits, he's potentially getting Sulaiman a lot of draw steps. One, because Sulaiman already has a bunch of chump blockers in the air. And second, you don't know what's going to happen with that hanger back walker. If that gets blown up too, that can be several turns. And because Spicklemire doesn't have a hammer lock on this game by any means, a siege runner off the top still kills him. So he's got an incentive to try to move this thing along as fast as he can.
There's Jace. Now this can help you get hammer lock on the game in a big way. He wants to put a die on top of his deck so he doesn't free it with the Dragon Master.
Totally legal.
Yeah, absolutely. Because missing that trigger might cost him. He's going to pass the turn back now and hope for no top deck Den Protector or Siege Rhino. Didn't get a great look at the draw. Is Radiant Flames lethal here?
Well, it leaves a dragon back for Spicklemire, and there's only 2 copies of Sunken Hollow.
Here come the vents. Well, what do we have now? It's a pretty interesting attack.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if I'm in Clay's spot here, I would consider a chump with the outcast, because you can get it back next turn with Jace.
On Ojutai's command.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason for Sulaiman to do this attack is because he just wants to gain some life.
Sure.
It changes the clock potentially by a turn or two, and he's still looking for one of his Siege Rhinos or way to get Siege Rhino back.
Jace activation. Crackling Doom was the draw off of the Jace. Discard a copy of Jace, flip that.
And Crackling Doom is not something that I think that Spicklemire can do anything with unless he is going for the kill.
Yep.
Because right now he can't break open that hanger back walker.
You can see that he knows exactly what he wants to do this turn, which is flashback Ojutai's command. Because I think you can get a sense that he's just, I want life.
Just get me out of Siege Rhino range.
Yeah. That's my main focus right now, is get me the heck out of Siege Rhino range.
And probably just get a chump blocker. Just get stuff onto the table.
You can just get Chase back.
Sure.
Cub is fine too. Just give me some life, give me some chump blockers out there. So he's going to go up to 6.
And what's so good about this is now even Kolagon's command for Siege Rhino plus Shock You. That's not lethal.
Ojutai, take a look. We wanted a good third game. We certainly got one.
We are getting it.
Looks like he's going to take Treasure Cruise. I'm just making sure the bottom is correct there with Dragonlord Ojutai. There's Flooded Strand for the turn. Let's pass the turn back. Hanger back walker up to 2.
But now he is out of Siege Rhino range. Radiant Flames does not make much of an inroad on Spicklemire's board.
Has to pass the turn back. It looks like Raja Sulaiman is out of gas. He's got shambling vents back there, but that's about it. Another dragon here from the Dragon Lord Outcast. Dragon Master Outcast, excuse me.
Now, Spicklemire can't really make an attack on the ground. There's still the shambling vents down there. And there's a hangerback walker he does not want to blow up.
Yep.
I think he's in a position where he can safely send in every eligible dragon. It looks like he's hanging back with one extra one like he did the previous turn.
Play a little cautious. Someone's going to fall down to 9. There's a flooded strand. Hasn't used Jace yet this turn. Nothing to flash back. Could cast at a very expensive treasure cruise.
I see no reason not to. If he finds one of his counter spells or a removal spell, it's again, it's a nice insurance policy.
So there goes the entire graveyard again. 3 cards coming. I think an Ochtai's command in there. There's also a copy of Valor Stance in there. Jace is going to tick up, slow down Hangerback Walker. Hangerback Walker going to grow. You can tell the young man's trying to keep his composure.
Yep. He's right on. I mean, there's been some stumbles here. He's played a very tight match. There's been some missed triggers, but he knows he's right on the cusp.
Yep.
I mean, Sulaiman would have to draw something incredible to bail him out of this.
It's an Abzan charm. That'll give you some redraws. That's going to resolve. Sulaiman's going to fall down to 7.
If you're in Spicklemire, see probably the most stressful draw on the deck is
Yeah.
the 2 redraws.
Looks like just a couple of lands over there for Raja. Maybe a Ruinous Path in hand.
Yeah, none of this is enough to, I mean,
Not
Spicklemire's attacking for 20 in the air next turn.
There's a Morph. He wants to take a look at that graveyard.
You got a fog down there or something?
Yeah.
If it's just spot removal, that's fine.
It's a land for the turn. Gonna sacrifice Bloodstained Mire, fall to 6. 6 all now. Get a basic swamp. Another dragon, a draw step. Those creatures do need to untap. That's not optional. There's a Soulfire Grandmaster for the turn. A little bit more lifelink. We have a lot of flyers about to enter the red zone. Yes, we do. Sulaiman's going to unmorph Den Protector. I'll get a counter. You'll get a Kolaghan's command.
He can use this to shatter his own Hangerback Walker.
Yep. Most adorable thing I've ever seen.
But there's 3 blockers here against 4 attackers.
There's a Valor Stance, and that is going to do it. Clay Spicklemire is going to win this match here over Raja Sulaiman 2-1. Jeskai Black is going to take care of Abzan Red. And for the youngster, he's pretty pumped up.
Yeah, if I won a tight game through there for top 8 with Dragon Master Outcast, I'd be pretty stoked too.
Almost certainly his first Open Series top 8.
That was great. I mean, you know, the first 2 games there was kind of a pair of